Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands Are Bust. Pant. All right, I'll take it. This is episode 513. 513. There it is. There's that second woof. Episode 513. I actually had to check my notes because I was like, we can't 500. That sounds like a lot. Oh, I guess we did. We did indeed surpass 500 episodes quite a bit ago. And now we're on episode 513. 513, lucky number 13 during the first day of October, Thursday, October 1st, 2015. Oh, all right. So long, boat. You have gone on without me. Please. Take me with you. Let's take a little bit of a detour around the skeleton, why don't we? But yeah, episode 513 here on Thursday, October 1st, 2015. Not quite as convenient of a numbering coincidence as our friend CoStar got. CoStar, of course, as you may know, has been doing Stream a Day, where he does a live stream per day and has not missed a single day for the past 666 days. Very conveniently, it's hard to imagine that he didn't do this on purpose. But every October, he changes his stream a day. Well, every October, as in this is the 2nd October that it's happening. But every October, he changes his stream a day to become Scream a Day, and he focuses on horror games and those sorts of things for the Halloween theme. So the first Scream a Day is Stream a Day number 666. What kind of coincidence could that possibly be? I thought I was doing the math wrong in my head when I figured that out earlier this week. The best we'll have to deal with is episode 513, lucky number 13, as a mild coincidence for our numbers and October. I don't generally get into the Halloween spirit as much as others might, which I know is not a popular, not a way to get popular on the internet. The internet, the geeks, the nerds, those such as myself, the circles to which I belong, tend to get a little bit hyped and very excited for the Halloween. I do not. I do not. I've mentioned this at least 4 times before since we've been through 4 Halloweens together. Hey, Wolfie, be careful. Yeah, I just never get too much into it, I'm afraid. As a kid, sorta, kinda, but not really. I don't know. I'm just not into the whole horror, spooky, ghost, spooky stuff genres of media in general, movies or shows or whatever even. So I don't know. It's neat, but I don't get to delve into it as much as others will. But that's beside the point. You know what has been delved into recently? Hey! Giving money to Child's Play charity over at farlandsbus.com. We had some very generous donations come in, and we've raised, since the last episode, over $300. So now we're up to $5,332.49. Raised this season, season 6 of Farlands Are Bust for Child's Play charity, helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world, as well as other efforts that have since been started since I came up with that very easy to remember tagline that I constantly say. How am I doing on wood? Not that great. Let's chop down a tree. With our iron axe. Oh, look how much more smoother. It's like chopping through butter. Chopping through butter. Oop, that's not the wood I got. There we go. Neat. So yeah, farlandsbus.com is where you can keep doing that and asking questions as well. Woof! Wolfie thinks so. Wolfie is trapped behind a block, but that's alright. That's alright, he can stay there. No, he'll teleport. No, speaking of teleporting, have a seat, Wolfie. You apparently teleported yourself off a cliff at some point there in the past. Oh, there we go. Full health for Wolfie. Whoop. Sorry, got turned around. So yeah. Neat stuff. I do appreciate the continued support there. It is the continued the purpose for which we continue to step forward, to take steps, to take many steps each episode here in Farlands Are Bust. I suppose without that, it would be quite a pointless journey, I suppose. I mean, yes, I know we're trying to walk to the far lands, and hey, we got a Guinness World Record out of it, I suppose. But overall, the goal here is to put good use to the gaming community and the Farlander community, the Minecraft community, and getting good things done, and a lot of good things have come out of that, obviously, so much appreciated, as always. Ooh, we got some music. Minecraft music happening in the background. It's been a while, we don't really get that much music that much anymore. I mean, I think that's just kind of the standard way that this version of Minecraft works. I appear to have come face first with a cliff here. Let's see if we can't climb this thing safely. We might need some blocks of dirt to help us up. Let's see here. This is problems. Let's dig through this mountain, since we're gonna break this pick anyway. Yep, there it goes. Onto the iron pick! We are swinging through stone in style. Alright, Wolfie should just teleport. I'm sorry it's dark. I rarely ever do any sort of digging. People ask me, oh, why don't you just dig a tunnel through mountains and stuff like that? Well, because it takes longer. I could have been up there by now had I just pillared up, but I felt like doing something a little bit different. Different. Excuse me. I'm also getting some much needed coal in the process. Alright, this mountain is much bigger than I anticipated. I thought I'd just have broken through by now. Let me out! Oh, here we go. There we go. We made it. Alright. Oh, hi, Wolfie. Hey! And check out this vista. Windows Vista. Those are awesome. Those are awesome. Those are awesome. Wolfie, where'd you go? Those are awesome. It's like Monument Valley. Alright, have a seat, Wolfie. I don't want you to have problems. Yeah, those are totally like Monument Valley. This place is amazing. I'm so glad that it was revealed in that way. We just popped out of a hole in the ground and check out this amazingness that you're seeing before your very eyes. That is so great. Wolfie agrees. I think we're pretty much seeing all of it in our screenshot there, so I don't think I need to do a panorama or anything. But let's grab Wolfie and check that stuff out. Yeah, Monument Valley, that's another thing. Where is that by? That's in, like, Montana, isn't it? That's not in Arizona. Yeah, I think that's in Montana. Or is it Utah? Or maybe it is in Arizona. That's another place I gotta go visit now that I'm living here. Oh, well, I guess those stop being so much the monuments, but that thing is cool. That thing is really cool. Wow, Wolfie. Push me off the monument. Hey! Look at how cool that is! Splat. Alright, we're going down this way. Okay, around the desert, I suppose. Ha! There's still cliffs in the desert. There are still cliffs in the desert. Just to let you know, topographically and whatnot. Careful, Wolfie. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Neat. Neat stuff. So yeah, speaking of neat stuff, we're going to have a little bit of a format change here. I normally answer questions from donors to Child's Play charity, and I still will, and I still might this episode, but certainly in future episodes. But a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, back in April, I asked my patrons over at Patreon to give me questions that then I would take and make a Q&A vlog out of on the... Holy buckets of skeletons! Look at all those! There is a party going on, a party going on, a party going on over there. There's at least 5 zombies. This creeper is coming out to invite us. And like 6 skeletons. Gotta go! Wow, this whole place. It's episode 513, the 1st of October. Evil. Bad luck and all the rest of that stuff. So yeah, I asked back in April for questions to do a Q&A vlog, and I never did the Q&A vlog, so I feel really bad. I still want to do that. A lot of those questions actually are a little bit more appropriate for a vlog. Like, they asked me what I use to make my coffee. I could, like, show that off, like, in the flesh, and, well, I'll be wearing clothes, but, you know, I'll show it off in person, and all that other stuff. But there are some questions here that I've lined up. I've copied and pasted onto my notepad, my Farlands Bus notepad, and I think I'll answer some of those today. But first, hold on, I'm really exploring this area. Oh, yay! We're going to have, I was a little bit too excited about that. We're going to have an elevated hidey hole here. in the monument of the monuments. The monument to monuments. That is what this place has been called. I'm not very good at naming things. Oh, man. All right, yeah, this is like a perfect spot. Yeah, I want to be facing this monument. Of course, this also puts me pretty close to this tree. Monument faced. Let's actually, while we're here, make a few more torches since I got some coal. There we go. Yeah, that's really cool. And then it like even goes like subterranean there. That's cool. And it's got a nice tree. That would be a nice place to build on. Or not. Leave it natural. It's a natural national park to be preserved for future generations who may decide to start walking to the far lands. So let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And a monumentsness. I am a monuments man. Neat. I mean that's just a cool structure. This is stuff that you don't see in the current versions of Minecraft, I'm afraid. And it's sad. Oh, picture time, picture time, picture time. I want to get the sun. There we go. And again, here, Wolfie. Well, you're not. Yeah, have a seat. Hamana. Gotta get a lower angle. Get in there. All right, I'm setting up the shot. Boom. Neat. Can we get Wolfie's? Yeah, perfect. Good job. Oh no, I wasn't pressing F2. I was pressing the number 2. I will probably have selected my bow and arrow. There we go. Yep. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I guess I did. Oh, then I pressed 1 to try to turn it back on. Anyway. I'm great at photography. All right, sorry. A little bit of a... This is also... Sure, we're raising money for Child's Play charity, but this is also part of what Farlands or Bust has become, is appreciating, enjoying, and exploring this magical world of Minecraft that we reside in and enjoy, and just really neat stuff like this. God, I'm not gonna have a good time trying to figure out which screenshot to use for my thumbnail, that's for sure. And there's some pumpkins. All right, so yeah, continuing on, I'm gonna get to some of these questions, say from patrons over at Patreon, patreon.com/KurtJMac. The first one from EMC73. E equals MC73. Actually, there's a few. This is one of those rapid-fire questions that we can run through. What would be your ideal job other than being an astronaut? Clearly, we know that's what my top choice would be. But other than being an astronaut, race car driver, probably. If we're gonna be totally, juvenile about it and just like wishful thinking and anything goes. I want to be a race car driver. That would be so awesome. I don't know what type of race car driver I would want to be, though. I feel like rally, despite my often harsh words for rally games, just based on frustration. But I feel like rally would be the best because you're on your own. You have I would worry about screwing other people up and getting them angry at me. I do not like confrontation or really even competition to that regard. But like a rally driver would be cool, I feel. And even I'm finding myself enjoying the rally cross, which I know is with other people on the track now, but like at least in the video game, the rally cross format is kind of cool. Maybe rally, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough beans to think about. I used to kind of think NASCAR would be cool, but then again, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't balk at it if that was the offer given to me. But yeah, race car driver. I suppose more, perhaps, of a human, like normal person career, other than astronaut or race car driver. Probably scientist, geologist. You know, even if I'm not to be an astronaut in that regard, geology, planetary geologist, something in the sciences, or similar disciplines, certainly are things that I hold respect for, and would like to be part of those sort of communities. And then maybe from there I could use my sciencey background to become like outreach, do outreach. You know, I also, you know, you look up to people like your Neil deGrasse Tysons, your Carl Sagans, people such as those. Your Bill Nye's the science guys. So yeah, those are some good options there for me. I've got my options open. We just saw like multiple brown sheep. I think brown sheep are pretty rare, second only to the rarity of pink sheep. What is going on over there? That's some sort of Tower of Sauron happening. Or is that a cloud? No, that's another structure that we missed. It might be a full-on mountain that we're just not seeing. Sorry, I must quench my thirst for exploration. Or it just might be a straight-up tower that's out of nowhere. The monuments! The monument. I don't think that chunk has loaded in yet, so it might be a full mountain that's going to pop in. It's looking like it. Looking like it. Yep, full mountain. Although it would have been cool if it was just that thing. All right, anyway, let's continue west. Let's go west. West. We got to go west. Next question from EMC73. What is your take on life outside of Earth? Are we likely to find it soon? Is it likely to be a civilization? I don't think it's likely to be found soon. It's one of those things on the list of things that I hope happens in my lifetime, but probably later than sooner. I would think we would even visit, like, put humans on Mars before we find... Maybe not, you know, I could see evidence of past life maybe could be found, but current living life, non-Earth life, and that's kind of one of the big discussions about this recent finding with the flowing water on Mars. The discussions brought up for human spaceflight or even a robotic spaceflight is the potential for contamination of, you know, say we go visit Europa or Mars. Contamination... Like, even the rovers there haven't gone through... They try, but they haven't gone through rigorous sterilization before launch to Mars. So it's very possible, let's say, even if, which they aren't able to, even if the rovers were able to detect signs of life, how would they know that it didn't come from them? It was contaminated from them, from the parts that are on the rover, from the heat shield, from the parachute that helped it land. You know, how would you know? So there's a big question about that, and specifically crewed space flight landing on Mars or other planets. It'd be very difficult to keep a human. You know, even, okay, you're inside of a spacesuit. Well, how do you put the spacesuit on? You got to touch it with your hands, your grimy little gritty hands, and you're covered in an ecosystem of microbes and organisms. How do you keep it from being contaminated? So that's a huge question. Certainly, what that would affect would be the science, finding out the past and learning about the history of Mars or Europa or whatever. Personally, to me, it's kind of like there's a little bit of a catch-22 is what if we are the ones to introduce organisms to these other planets? Is that not in and of itself a product of the universe, a natural product of the universe? Are we not simple organisms that exist on our planet, just like there's the low but possible possibility that, say, watch your heads, everybody. There is a possible chance that life on Earth possibly originated from an impactor, perhaps from Mars or another source. Wouldn't it be a similar process that then, a life form on this planet figures out a way to travel to other planets, and in doing so pollinates these other planets and spreads life? Is that not a natural process? We tend, as humans, to put ourselves above nature and say that the things we do are not natural processes, but in the grand scheme of the 14.5 billion-year-old universe, are we not? You know, so it's kind of, in my personal opinion, I don't think that would be a bad thing, because then, say, Earth ceases to be habitable. What if then billions of years, those original seeds that we plant accidentally or intentionally go on to make up a new planetary life system? Who knows? But I could see, as far as the science is concerned, yes, that would royally screw any sort of appreciable science we could gain to learn about the history of non-human caused life on Mars or Europa, or what's going on Titan, or these other places. It's definitely more likely that we will be finding more and more exoplanets that are well within the habitable zone, and with bigger and more technologically advanced telescopes, we might be able to get direct images. It would be very unlikely we'll be able to detect water. Will one day we be able to detect organics, life? I don't know if we would then be able to determine if it's advanced or intelligent or civilized, a civilization, as you asked, life. But there's all various steps of discovery that could take. So yeah, yes, I am definitely one to say that it would be fairly narrow-minded to think that in this entire universe we are the only planet with life, or even intelligent life, like I said, among the 14.5 billion-year-old gigantic, ever-expanding universe. But whether or not we will ever find, or contact, or even just know about any of those is just, it's astronomically difficult to put into words. Astronomically. Words! So yeah, let's go to sleep, and I'll continue answering EMC73's questions, and hopefully get to a few other patron questions in the morning. And awakeness. Woo, that's gonna hurt. Yep, alright, we're fine. Are there any upcoming movies you're hyped for? The Martian? Not really hyped. The Star Wars movie, sure, there's a little bit of hype around that to see how that turns out. The next James Bond movie. There's nothing that I've seen on the horizon that really is like, oh, that's a new and interesting, like when we first saw the trailer for Inception or something. Oh, this is a new and interesting concept. It's not a continuation or a sequel or anything. There's nothing that I can think off the top of my head. Other than, like The Martian, but it's based on a book that we've already all heard about. There's nothing that I can think of that, triggers that response that I'm like, ooh, I'm hyped for this film. But, yeah, those are on my list of to have a potential look-see in the theaters when they come out. You doing alright, Wolfie? Have you overheard any comments whilst out shopping about your magnificent beard? I don't shop outside of the internet normally, unless it's for groceries or whatever. But yeah, I did go to a restaurant once where she wasn't the waitress, she was the hostess or something, came by, and I really love your beard. Something about she knows somebody, her roommate or something has a giant beard too, and it's so awesome. And then she said it again as we were leaving, and I'm like, okay, thanks, I guess. But no, typically not too much of the upfront beard appreciation when I'm out and about in public. What? Oh, I'm sorry. What is your opinion on the direction Minecraft is going? I'm going west. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said before, Minecraft is a group I belong to, and things are always changing, both with YouTube, gaming, the games we play, the people we play with, and what the focus would be, and sometimes my focus might not match up with that of others, Minecraft or not, and it's just trying to decide what's best to do. I don't think much has changed, to be honest with you. There's no giantly, hugely new direction that things are traveling. I think it's just gaming, YouTube, live streaming as a whole that is changing directions, and everybody's kind of just trying to figure out their own special way to adapt to it. But I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, it did come up during the Mindcrack panel at the TwitchCon, like, oh, can you think of when you were invited to join Mindcrack? What were your thoughts or whatever? And I have told the story before, but I distinctly remember when Good invited me. I'm like, I was on the no side because I didn't feel like I fit in to the group content thing at the early times of my YouTube, and I didn't do the Minecraft buildy stuff, and so I was a little bit hesitant. I didn't jump at the opportunity right away, so I might have a little bit of a slightly different perspective as far as the way I entered went, but yeah. And now for even more controversy, what's your stance on the gun restrictions in the U.S.? What gun restrictions is the question, I guess. Certainly something needs to be done. Certainly there is a population who thinks that there shouldn't be anything done, despite the ongoing and continual problems that we keep running into. And I think it just needs to come down to, well, I don't, either something horrible, even more horrible than all the horribleness that has already happened, has to happen, or we've all simply given up on trying to make this country a nice place to live for everybody, I guess. I could go on. I have so many thoughts that I could share. I don't know if this is the platform for it right now, but yeah, I'm for additional things being done. I don't know what those things could be or should be. Certainly places like the UK and Australia have had resounding success with their options, so perhaps those are the way to go. But there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in the politics. There's a lot of money in the groups and the companies and the associations that are against those things. So if you think it's about a constitution or an amendment, I don't believe you, because it's really about the money, is generally what a lot of things come down to, I'm afraid. As pessimistic as that sounds, that is the way that it works. And until something happens to shift that, then I'm not very optimistic about what can be done. But perhaps I'll share those thoughts in a different format here, but the hard-hitting questions here from E=MC73. What's your favorite state you've visited? Arizona. So much so that I now live here. Have you ever visited a country which is largely not English-speaking? Yep, Mexico a few times. How was it? Difficult to deal. If I'm awkward enough around everybody who speaks the same language that I do, imagine throwing me into a place where nobody speaks the same language that I do. So yeah, that's fun. But I had some help at the time, so I survived. Barely, but I survived. Let's see here. Got about half a day left. Let's answer a question from another patron. Hazard with a 3. With a 3. Hazard spelled with a 3. Just take wild guesses as to where that 3 is. My questions are in regard to the Nerbed Cubed video you retweeted recently, April 2015, where he talks about the new direction YouTube is going. Speaking of new directions, with payments, subscriptions to remove ads and such. What are your thoughts on the matter? Do you have any plans if such things were to come to pass? Well, things are coming to pass. The latest news, the rumors, the rumor mills is that they are going to start rolling out the pay as a viewer, a subscription for an account to not see ads on videos anymore. And then, supposedly, those videos where ads would have been served, that channel gets a fraction of your subscription fee based on whatever other videos that they may have watched and whatever other crazy algorithms that we don't know about from Google, YouTube. So that is supposedly coming in October, like this month. Like, it's now October, obviously. And it's also might include the Google Unlimited Music along with that subscription. So they're pushing that as well to compete with your Spotify's and your Apple Music's. So, yeah, it's problems. We had a long chat yesterday, 2 days ago now, when this video goes up, on Twitch Tuesday about Twitch, about YouTube, about people working 7 days a week, 12-hour days to make their content, and only then being able to call themselves successful or earning a living wage. And we went a little bit onto the subscription model, and surely it must mean that there is something wrong with the advertising model, the Twitch platform, the YouTube platform, if the only way it seems, or one of the best ways it seems, for a content creator, specifically individual content creators, not largely speaking of already existing corporations or networks and things, but for an individual creator to have to turn to fan funding, to have to turn to tip jars while they're streaming, to Patreon. Obviously, I'm coming from the perspective of somebody who obviously uses Patreon, and that is how I continue to do such things, is through Patreon. Thank you very much, all my patrons. There must be something is not right with the math here. So we went on a long talk about that. I won't do that again. But we just have to see. YouTube goes about releasing these press releases saying, hey, 95% of our partnered content have signed on to the new subscription platform and are all for it. This is a resounding success. Well, you kind of blackmailed us into it, YouTube, so don't go celebrating too soon. We were given a new terms of service that said this subscription thing is coming. You have to sign this new terms of service. If you do not, your channel and all of your videos will be hidden from the United States viewers, and all of your videos will be unmonetized. What are we going to do? I suppose at the time, had there been a chance to organize, what if a large group of creators decided not to sign, and instead of 95% sign-ons, they only had 60% or 40% sign-ons to the new terms? Then YouTube would have had to probably scramble, because then all of a sudden 60% of their content would be unmonetized according to that. It would have been a standoff, and that is one of those situations where we were kind of musing in the Twitch Tuesday. Is some sort of organization, an organized force behind representing streamers, YouTubers, content creators necessary. The word union was thrown about. Not that I'm saying that is a solution or anything like that, but, is that a situation that would have, this new terms of service is coming out. We don't like it, or there's not enough information to make an educated choice about whether or not we should sign on to it, instead of just being blackmailed into it for fear of losing your way of life. We will, go on strike, or not necessarily go on strike, or just strike from signing this new terms. Would that have been helpful in that situation? We don't know, but that was a lot of what the conversation was talking about. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody as a creator knows. I don't even think YouTube knows how it's going to work out. Maybe nobody will sign up for the ad-free YouTube. Maybe a lot of people will, and it will affect creators' bottoms lines. It will affect our bottoms. Please take care of our bottoms. I've worked so hard on the firmness of my gluteus. No, so we'll just have to see. And that kind of brings me up to, I forgot to mention this. The whole reason I kind of brought this up was my thoughts about Patreon and things during the live stream, but I forgot to mention it, is I do want to, it's been just over a year that we've been doing Patreon. Of course, and as always, and I will say again, for Far Lands or Bust, the main purpose is raising money for Child's Play charity. But so before I'm not asking specifically for tips or patronage, that's the first place. If you have a few extra bucks, that they should go is to pay. Damn it! is to Child's Play charity, farlandsorbust.com. Slip of the tongue, and then is when you can start thinking about supporting the series or whatever. But yeah, I am looking at it. I'm kind of trying to consider. Okay, maybe like physical rewards aren't working. Maybe we should switch to a more involved thing. I know a lot of people have like a Patreon server, Minecraft server, where we can all hang out. A Patreon Mumble or TeamSpeak server where we can hop on from now and again to have like some actual chats with fans and patrons, or well, patrons specifically, and fun stuff like that. So maybe. So yeah, I'm looking at, it's going to take a while, as many things with me do, but I'll probably, what I want to do is like kind of make a survey to survey like current patrons, and then perhaps all fans to see what they think about that versus getting a mug and a tote bag, or this or that or the other. So yeah, that's stuff I'm thinking about. That'll come in the, maybe this month, maybe months, but he says as he's answering questions that were given to him in April. Oh man. But yeah, but like I said, above everything else, I'm happy doing what I'm doing right now. Things are working out. We are on an even keel. We are not, whoa, sorry, Skeleton. We're not, we're not flying with high tide, but then again, we're not sinking either. So we're on an even keel. As far as I'm concerned, and we're still raising money for Child's Play charity. That is our top concern here. Like I said, $5,332.49 raised this season alone. At farlandsorbust.com is where you can do that. So keep doing that, and I will keep doing this. Thank you so much for watching episode 513. Ooh, spooky October of Farlands or Bust. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. I'm going west.